Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grow Through English channel, the place where we learn simple English, share real thoughts, and grow together. Today, I want to talk about decision making. Not the motivational version, not the one that tells you to just be confident and choose fast, but the real version, the one that actually happens inside your head. Decision making is not hard because you are weak. It is hard because every decision feels like it carries a future with it. It feels like one choice can change everything. And that thought alone is enough to freeze anyone. Some people say just choose, but they do not see what happens before that moment. Before the choice, there is overthinking. There is pressure, there is the fear of regret, and there is that quiet voice asking, what if this is the wrong move? Most people are not afraid of making decisions. They are afraid of living with the consequences. They imagine the future judging them. They imagine people saying, I told you so. They imagine disappointment, failure, and starting over. So instead of choosing, they delay. They wait for a sign. They wait for certainty. They wait for the perfect feeling. But certainty rarely comes before action. It comes after decision-making becomes heavy. When you believe that one wrong choice will ruin everything. When you believe that you only get one chance. But life does not work in one straight line. It moves. It changes. It allows adjustments. Still, when you are inside the moment, that truth is hard to remember. That is why decision-making feels emotional, not logical, because it is connected to fear, identity, and self-trust. Many people ask, why am I so bad at deciding? Why do I hesitate so much? But the real question is, why do I not trust myself enough to handle what comes next? Because decision-making is not about choosing the best option. It is about believing that even if things go wrong, you will be okay. And when that belief is missing, every choice feels dangerous. We are taught to avoid mistakes, to be careful, to not mess things up. But we are rarely taught how to recover, how to adjust, how to learn from choices that did not work. So decision-making becomes this heavy emotional task instead of a normal part of living, and that is where most people get stuck. Most people think decision-making is about intelligence, about being smart, about knowing what to do, but in reality, decision-making is deeply connected to emotions. When you are tired, overwhelmed, or mentally exhausted, even simple decisions feel impossible. You start doubting yourself. You question your past choices. You replay old mistakes in your head. And slowly, your mind starts associating decisions with pain. This is why some people avoid decisions altogether. Not because they do not care, but because caring too much has hurt them before. Every decision reminds them of a time they tried, and things did not go as planned. So now their brain tries to protect them by delaying, by overthinking, by staying in the familiar. Indecision is not laziness. It is self-protection. Your mind says, if I do not choose, I cannot fail. But staying stuck is also a choice, one that quietly drains your energy. Another reason decision-making feels heavy is because we confuse decisions with identity. We think, if I choose this, it says something about who I am. If I choose wrong, it means I am bad at life. But a decision is not a definition. It is just a step. You are allowed to change direction. You are allowed to learn. You are allowed to grow. Strong decision makers are not people who never doubt. They are people who move forward despite the doubt. They accept that discomfort is part of choosing. They do not wait to feel ready. They move while feeling unsure. And here is something important. Good decisions are not always clear at the beginning. Sometimes a decision becomes good because you commit to it, because you work with it, because you adapt. Waiting for the perfect choice often means never choosing at all. And slowly, life starts choosing for you. This is why decision-making is a skill, not a personality trait. A skill you can build by making small choices, by trusting yourself a little more each time. You do not need to solve your whole life today. You only need to take one step, one decision, one direction, and that is enough. One of the hardest parts about decision-making is dealing with uncertainty. No matter how much information you gather, you can never know everything. The future is always unknown, and that unknown can feel scary. Your mind tries to fill the gaps with stories. What if I fail? What if I regret it? What if I make a mistake that I cannot fix? And suddenly, a simple choice becomes a heavy weight on your shoulders. But here's the truth. You do not need to know everything. You do not need to predict the future. You only need to make the best choice you can right now, with the information you have, with the values you hold, with the priorities that matter to you. Decision-making is not about perfection. It is about clarity. Clarity comes from knowing yourself, not your options. The clearer you are about your limits, your energy, your goals, your values, the easier it is to choose. And yet most people start with options first, which often leads to overwhelm. Instead of asking what is the best choice, ask what aligns with me, what fits my life, what I can live with. Your body gives you signals. Pay attention to them. A calm body often means alignment. A tense body often means conflict. Decision-making is both a mental and physical process. Your body knows before your mind understands. Another reason decisions feel impossible is fear of judgment. We imagine everyone watching, everyone evaluating, everyone waiting for us to fail. This imagined audience can paralyze you, but the reality is, most people are busy with their own lives. They are not analyzing your choices. They are not judging your every move. The pressure you feel is mostly in your own head. When you realize that, decision-making becomes lighter, not easy, not without fear, but lighter, you start moving, even when uncertain, and every choice you make, even imperfectly, builds confidence. Because confidence does not come from being right, it comes from moving forward and handling whatever comes next. Now that you understand why decision-making feels heavy, let's talk about how to make it easier and more natural. First, accept that fear is normal. Fear does not mean you are doing something wrong. It does not mean you are weak. It does not mean you are failing. It means you care about the outcome. It means this choice matters. It means you are human and alive. Second, break big decisions into small steps. You do not have to solve everything at once. You do not have to figure out your whole life today. Focus on what you can decide right now. Focus on the next action. Then tomorrow, take the next step. And the day after that, take another. Little steps build momentum. Little steps build confidence. Little steps make choices feel lighter. Third, listen to your body. Your mind will give you thoughts. Your body will give you feelings. Your body knows more than you think. It often feels calm when something is right. It often feels tense when something is not aligned. Pay attention to these signals. Your body helps you make better decisions than overthinking alone. Fourth, let go of the need for approval. You do not owe anyone your choices. You only owe yourself honesty. You only owe yourself respect for your own life. Some people will disagree. Some people will criticize. Some people will not understand. And that is okay. Their opinions are not your responsibility. Your choices are about you, not them. And finally, practice small decisions daily. Decide what to eat. Decide when to exercise. Decide to start a task you have been avoiding. Decide to speak up in a conversation. Decide to try something new. These small choices train your mind, train your confidence, and train your ability to handle uncertainty. Every small choice prepares you for bigger ones. Every step teaches you about yourself. Every action strengthens your trust in yourself. Decision-making is not about avoiding mistakes. Mistakes will happen, and that is part of the process. It is about learning to move forward anyway. It is about trusting yourself. It is about growing from every experience. Every choice teaches you something about your priorities, your limits, your values. Every decision builds awareness and resilience. Every step strengthens your ability to navigate life. You are capable of more than you realize. Remember, you do not need to be perfect. You do not need to know everything. You only need to choose. You only need to act. You only need to trust yourself. Start small, trust your instincts, and take the next step. And every decision will feel easier with practice. If you enjoyed this episode, do me a quick favor. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you never miss an episode. Let's keep growing together. Let's grow through English.